Hello, and welcome to our lesson on the core of project leadership. This segment will cover project scheduling. Often accruing directly after estimating, scheduling is the act of organizing, ordering, and ultimately placing the tasks and work units against accurate dates. In reality, scheduling's relationship to estimating is part of the scheduling continuum. Before individual dates or durations are even considered, the planning begins, outputting a list of activities, tasks, and work units. Estimating, discussed previously, attempts to quantify the size and effort, typically in-person hours, of project activities and tasks. Scheduling seeks to add order and concrete dates to these abstract work units. Tracking, covered in the next section, attempts to ascertain how the project progresses throughout execution. Planning and estimating efforts often yield reasonable expectations of what will be done and how long it will take. Still, it's often the case that work units or activities need to be further broken down to the task level before scheduling efforts can start. Though there are multiple methods to do this, one of the most well-known is the work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure, WBS, is a method of continuously breaking down elements until they are at an easily understandable level and therefore can be more easily estimated and sequenced. Typically, the WBS is annotated in one of two ways: as a series of nested bullets or as a similar graphical representation. It's important to note that not all parts of the WBS should be broken down to the same level. Instead, they only need to be broken down enough for scheduling activities to move forward. Once tasks, work units, and activities have been properly broken down, it's important to sequence them properly. Remember that some tasks require others to be completed before they can be started. This is known as precedence. Tasks that precede others are often related, meaning one must be completed before another can be started. Still, they may be assigned to the same team member in some cases, not allowing them to be completed simultaneously. This sequencing is typically done using precedence techniques. First, estimated tasks are listed with their dependent tasks. Although considered individually, each task is quite understandable. Someone reading this chart, however, might need help understanding which tasks can be completed simultaneously or how long they will take altogether. To best answer these questions, we can use the presence diagram method. After creating this diagram, it's easy to see that multiple resources can work simultaneously and that the entire project should take 27 minutes from start to finish. The critical is the longest path through the diagram, representing the total time. It also represents the tasks that, if delayed, will have the largest effect on the total project. Slack time refers to tasks that can be started late without affecting the schedule. In the previous example, Fine Broom has a slack time of 1 minute and is not on the critical path. Tasks on the critical path have no slack time. Once properly sequenced, tasks can be applied to a calendarized schedule. Project teams must understand that even though a project is planned, estimated, and sequenced, many factors can affect how the work is applied to the calendar. Examples include other projects or work that must be completed first, capital, external contractors' resources, or essential personnel unavailability until a future date. External factors such as weather and government regulation dictating when work can occur. Additionally, plans and reality can be disparate, so tracking becomes vital for successful project teams. Though scheduling decisions are relatively straightforward, visualizing them can be a challenge. Individual projects often exist in organizations with a lot going on. Other projects, operational work, multiple departments, and distant stakeholders. Cutting through this noise requires simple, easily updated visualizations created by the project leader and viewed by the project team and other stakeholders. One common way of marking time in a project is through milestones. A milestone is an accomplishment that isn't any work and doesn't appear in the sequence of tasks, but represents a point in time. A milestone is often simply the beginning or end of a phase. Examples could include building begins or testing complete milestones. By calculating milestone dates and organizing these into a chart, an easy to understand high level view of the project schedule can be started, as shown in the picture. It's important to note that this chart should include both the planned date and an empty column to allow actual dates to be recorded as the project proceeds. This allows any anticipated lack of precision to be expressed as the visualization is used. Another commonly used schedule visualization tool is the Gantt chart. Though individual features may vary, labeling, hierarchy, precedence, columns, all Gantt charts have tasks or activities listed on the vertical axis and bars indicating the length of time corresponding to the horizontal axis. By viewing how bars are stacked, the project team can determine which tasks are scheduled to happen before or concurrent with others. In most cases, project management teams use server-based project systems built to assist in planning, estimating, scheduling, and tracking. These systems hold large amounts of information designed to aid in the visualization and manipulation of project data. Often, each team member has access to slightly different views. Some, for example, may only have permission to view their tasks, while project leaders can usually view and manage the entire project. These systems often include multiple layers of data and visualization, such as activities and tasks, including visualizations like the Gantt chart, project calendars and milestone, listing of current issues and risks, information about stakeholders related to the project artifact, financial information relating to the project such as budgets and materials available, statistics relating to the project. Now that you have understood how to break down work, sequence tasks, and visualize the schedule, it's time to step back and consider the context surrounding how your team works. Examples include how work is divided among resources, whether planning and work can be conducted simultaneously, how often to check in with the customer and management, the amount of testing or verification that must be conducted for each task, ownership of work. It is individual or the entire team, how much the team is willing to adapt. Following the guidelines of the established process, the project team can now create a schedule that works within the project's constraints and the organization's culture. The makeup of that schedule is as variable as the project itself, but one truth applies to all schedules. Unless the executed work is tracked and the schedule adjusted to changing conditions, the planning, estimating, and scheduling effort expended thus far goes to waste. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we shall discuss project tracking. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening and see you on our next segment.